Hello, I'm Aonia, your InfiniteTable AI assistant. In this tutorial we want to show you how to get started with grouping in InfiniteTable. This is a simple table from the previous video, where we had the person type with some basic data. Now let's try to use a more real-life data source we can find on the InfiniteTable.com website. Let's create a developer type with some of the fields in the data source. Let's give it an ID. A first name and last name. Age. Country. Stack. Currency. Salary. And can design, which should be a yes or no. Next, let's use our new type and feed it into the data source and InfiniteTable components. We're removing our old data items and adding something appropriate for the new data type. Now we have to adjust the columns of the table to match the new data. We're now ready to define grouping for the table. We do this by using the group by prop on the data source. The group by will be an array of objects, each with a field property that tells the data source component what field from the data should be used for grouping. So let's first group by country. Let's say we also want to hide the ID column when the table is grouped. We can do this by using default hidden when grouped by. We assign it with the string value of star. You can use the default hidden when grouped by property and assign it a value of true if you want to hide columns bound to fields that are used in grouping. Let's add a second grouping field, namely let's group by city. We now have two group columns generated, one for each group field. It's time we now fetch the data from a remote location, so let's make our data prop be a function that returns a promise. The returned promise will resolve to an array of the corresponding developer type. We are using the browser fetch API to retrieve the data from the server. The resulting array will be displayed into the table. We can load more data as needed. Now we want to only show one column for grouping, so we can use group render strategy with a value of single column to do that. Next, let's try to customize the generated group column. The group column prop on the InfiniteTable component can be configured like any other normal column, so we can easily assign it a field. The field will be used for rendering the value of non-group rows, which is exactly what we need. Obviously, we can further customize the group column with render functions. Let's change how the value for non-group rows is displayed inside the group column. For this, we'll use the render value function property of the column. By default, it just returns the value, but we need to retrieve the row info, and if it's a group row, we return the value as usual. Otherwise, for non-group rows, we will customize the result to fit our needs. That's better. Now we can give the group column a bigger default width, say 300 pixels, so it fits more content. We've now finished the setup we wanted. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel so you won't miss our next video. Goodbye.